Hi there, my name's Cav and I'll be going through the business accounts training material, and in this video we're going to look at building a filter. Now, we're in the chart of accounts and I'm going to double click on my current account. When you double click on any of your actual accounts, the gold coin accounts, it opens its tab on the right hand side and you can see it in a statement view. I've sorted this in date order by clicking on the date column header, and you can see there's a downward pointing arrow there, meaning it's sorted. So it should look like what your bank statement shows you. Now, just above every table, you have a drop-down list of filters. Now, these are the ones that we ship with the system. So we can add our own. There's some here that show you cleared things or uncleared things, and there's predefined filters there already. Now, I'm also going to click on my telephone expense account here, and here's all the entries for my telephone expense account. So we're going to do a date range filter, but you can actually filter on any of the columns you see there. So you can do date, reference, amounts, transaction numbers, any column you have visible, you can do a filter on. So how do we create filters? This is the drop-down list of your filters, and it's on all entries currently, showing us everything. Right next to it is this blue funnel. If you click on that, it opens up the filter builder. Now you can have a view which can set columns to a particular filter, or a view, so we can change the columns here, it's set to that particular view, and we can also filter. These are the two main areas. So the first thing we do is we create a new view and we give it a name. So as I'm doing a date filter, I'm going to call this date range filter. Press enter and you'll see that the name at the top has now changed. Now we can do other things here, but that's the main thing. Give it the name, and we're going to go over to the filter now. In the filter tab, we're going to specify a condition, and a condition can be any of the columns that you have in the table. So if you look in these lists, these are all lists of the table column headers. So we want a date filter, so we're going to go down and find the tax date, and that adds its condition on the right hand side there. Now this center panel you can adjust and make it smaller and move it about. So I've just moved mine about a little bit to give you a bit more space. And then now in the condition in the middle, we don't want one date, I want a range. So I'm going to scroll down and select excuse me, occurs between. Okay, so here we go. Now we have two ranges here, date range. So let's select the first one, and we want the first 3 months of the year. So I'm going to select 1.3, and it's picked out, we want 1.1, and it's picked out the start of January, and I press enter, and now we want end of dot 3, 31.3, and now we have the end of March. I'm happy, and press enter. It's now specified those dates for me. So now I'm only seeing entries between this date. So I've now closed the date filter. I can go and look at all entries. You can see there's entries coming up all the way up to the 5th month. And if we go to our date filter, it's only showing us up to the first 3 months. And if we look at the telephone account, the date range filter applies to all of the accounts you have open in your chart of accounts. So again, if we go to all entries, there's all of them. And if we select the date range filter, we have our filtered view of this table. And we can now print this, or we can export this to a CSV file and open that in Excel or any spreadsheet editor after you've saved it to your computer. So you can export it or you can print it. So that's how you can do filtering in business accounts using the filter builder mechanism. This is your list of filters, and to create filters you hit the blue funnel and then go and create a new view, filter the information, and that's it. Okay, so that covers creating a filter.